craziest trade that could maybe happen. Dave, 60 seconds begins now.
All right, this would absolutely be insane. But with the rumors flying over the weekend and being squashed by Rich Paul and Clutch, what if LeBron James got traded? And not just anywhere. What if LeBron James got traded to the Golden State Warriors? I put together a package that I think would be appealing for the Lakers. Number one, Chris Paul, you need that salary ballast in there to get the big fish in LeBron James. You throw in Kevon Looney because, hey, a backup big in LA, he'd be perfect behind Anthony Davis. They could play together some. You know, Looney, unfortunately, and it breaks my heart to say it, a bit washed, and it needs to go to a reserve role somewhere. But the big fish, if you're LA, is Jonathan Kuminga. You get Jonathan Kuminga, a guy that I think has star potential. You get him young on that rookie deal. In return, and Moses Moody, who Steve Kerr just refuses to play, so might as well free Moody and send him to LA. And for the Warriors, LeBron.
Time. Okay, Mike, what is your trade?
Well, mine also involves the Golden State Warriors, but I'm going to go the opposite way. What if the Warriors traded Klay Thompson? Right? He's got a contract coming up at the end of this season. It's clear that they're apart in contract talks. They need to get better this year. He's got so much equity with the Warriors, so many rings with the Warriors. It seems like totally out there to trade Klay Thompson. What if that's their avenue to get better? What if they can trade his big contract, use that big salary slot to get some guys on longer term deals, some younger players, and get better in the short and near term? It's crazy. I know. It's Klay. We all love Klay. I love Klay Thompson, Warriors legend, NBA legend, Game 6 legend. But what if that's their way of getting better and breaking up the Curry, Klay, Draymond?
Mike, I want to start you off with a question real quick. Where would you send Klay?
Where would I send Klay? I mean, that's an interesting one. What if they send him to Chicago along with many picks for Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso, throwing in some trade filler along with Kevon Looney? What if they do that?
I mean, that could work. What if Klay Thompson was my choice for number 2 in this exercise today? And I thought I was going to catch everyone off guard and surprise them by saying Klay Thompson should be moved. I'm kind of with you there. I mean, number one, the Warriors, and it's telling that we both included the Warriors, right? Like, they need to shake things up. This is Steph Curry. This might be his last year as a top 5 or 6 player. I mean, what he's done the last few nights has been insane. The 60-point game over the weekend where he's just trying to do it on his own. Draymond is really, really good still defensively. I love how Kuminga has stepped up and is playing like a huge role. But it's clear to me that they need someone with a little bit more juice. And I'm not sure whether it's one guy with a lot more juice or 2 or 3. I don't hate the LaVine and Caruso idea. I think that you bring a nice combo guard in Caruso, who is a good utility player. He can close games, great connector offensively. Like, I mean, he would fit right in to what the Warriors already do. Like, he knows how to play. And then Zach LaVine, frankly, to be able to bring a guy like that off the bench and also sometimes be able to close games with that much firepower would give you, I think, some lineup flexibility that they would probably, I mean, it'd be useful in the playoffs for sure if they made it. And the other thing is, I'm not ready to give up on Andrew Wiggins. I think that Andrew Wiggins has turned things around the last few weeks. And for this team to be able to compete at the highest level, they need Andrew Wiggins playing like Andrew Wiggins from 2020 more than they need Klay, to be honest. So, I got to hand it to you. I think that we're on the same page, unfortunately. But I think the
Same
crazier,
brainwaves.
but that to me tells me it's not that crazy of a trade because we both thought about it. But LeBron to the Warriors, that would be insane and also solve a lot of problems for them.
Yeah. Here's another one. If we're just talking about fake LeBron trades, what if this is the way to get LeBron to the Knicks?
I'm not quite sure that LeBron shouldn't also be the answer for number 2 when we get there. But LeBron is a guy who, at this point in his career, when you think about, just who he is, like the Lakers are not a championship contention. Like they're not going to be in championship contention. Last year's run to the conference finals was impressive, very impressive, but a little bit of fool's gold. And so unless they can pull off another deadline miracle, I mean, we're talking, this is Monday and we're talking 4 days from now. I just don't get what you're doing with LeBron. You almost have to not free LeBron. Like that's a little bit, I think, oversaid, but don't you need to say, hey, LeBron, how would you feel about, like, is this something that you need or want? And then maybe it is. And maybe the Knicks have a shot if they could get LeBron. I mean, not to, I hate to say it, but do you count on Embiid being back for a playoff run? I think the East looks a little bit winnable if you're the Knicks. The Knicks look really good. East looks winnable. If you can get to the finals, it gives yourself a shot. I mean, for the Knicks to just make the finals is such a huge deal.
Look, I know I'm going to win today. I will give up all 3 of my wins over Dave. If LeBron replaces his hashtag washed king tweets with hashtag free LeBron, if he starts using that, just give Dave all the W's.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, didn't he like tweet out the Statue of Liberty emoji? I mean, it feels like a lot of smoke here.
I got a question. Going back to the Warriors real quick. Do you guys think they should buy or sell at this deadline, or just? I mean, both of you guys say they have to make a move, so
you can't. Well, they're not trading Steph Curry. They can't.
Okay.
You got to buy, yeah. For that reason, you got to. You have Steph Curry. The same reason you have LeBron James,
right? You
got to maximize that team. You have Steph Curry. You got to maximize that team. They have so many narrow constraints though because of their cap situation, the age of all their players. They don't have all of their picks going forward. They have some very, very high-end contracts that make it harder to trade under normal terms, let alone as everyone's figuring out this new CBA. But again, you have Steph Curry. Like, you can't just have another year where the 2 years ago where they lost in the play-in tournament. Like, you got to figure it out. You got to try to give him a chance in the playoffs and try to make another run at the title. Also, when you're paying like $400 million in salary with all these luxury taxes, like, what are you doing trying to go for 41 and 41, right? Like,
you need home playoff games too, right? Like, and this is we're not in, like, this is no longer 2020 when you can say, okay, well, this is a lost one. No, you need home playoff games. Like, that's what pays the bills. So, they definitely need to buy, but the Lakers also need to buy, unless they're going to move on from LeBron James, which would be kind of crazy. Listen, would be insane. But the Lakers need to buy. Like, the Suns need to buy. Kevin Durant's not getting any younger. The Bucks need to buy. Giannis is never going to be this good again. Like, this is the prime and peak of his career. So I don't think the Warriors are in a unique situation, but they are the one. I think that they've got one of the more flawed rosters. And I would even say over the Lakers, because the Lakers, the pieces, they fit. They're just not very good. The Warriors they never addressed getting a big man, and they are constantly outsized. And in order to win the West, you have to go through Anthony Davis. You have to go through Nikola Jokic. Like, these are dudes that you're going to have to face up against, and they don't have that. And especially because Kevon Looney, again, unfortunately, he just looks like he's not the level of player that they need, right? So unless your plan is 48 minutes of Draymond Green at center, getting just banged up, and that's for the rest of the season. This is not just a couple of times here and there. Everybody forgets he played the 5 sparingly. It was used as a secret weapon almost. I mean, the Bogut years, I mean, they always had a center, and I think that they're really missing that. So the most flawed roster to me is the Warriors. I think they have to buy because you have Steph Curry. How many more years of this level play does he have in him?